In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. We, the human beings, sometimes we are happy and sometimes we are unhappy. Sometimes we are comfortable and at certain other times we are uncomfortable and unhappy. Still, at certain other occasions we are found sad, troubled. Dear friends, what we do, if at all we are a believer, apart from doing certain other things, we do supplicate. We do call the help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because that is a kind of final resort from where we can expect of the help. Even when the thing seems impossible, we are found seeking help from Allah, and the miracles too do happen. As for the help in the general situations are concerned, slightly difficult or even difficult situations are concerned, help obviously we can expect from Allah, and we are given lot of strength from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if at all our supplication is accepted. Usually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not reject the supplication of a creature, of a creation, of a human being. But when will it come to into action? When shall we be able to feel relieved? That's upon this another issue. Dear friends and fellows, today we are going to talk about that how to get our supplications heard, how to get our supplications accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is there any way to do that? Yes, there is a way to do that. First of all, we are a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does listen to us, does respond to our call for the help. But there are certain people who are definitely in the good books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who are a good creation, those who remain grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those who are the obedient servants, slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now the question arises, why aren't we? Is it that much difficult? The answer is, it is not that much difficult at all. It is something which is quite doable. How is it quite doable? By the way, that is exactly the topic of our today's discussion. Dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, I should like to put forward an example. There is an acquaintance of yours, there is a friend of yours who does call you only when they are in need. Otherwise, they don't remember you. They don't call you. You will not be able to. You will not be able to accept them even as a friend of yours. You may call them as an acquaintance of yours, but obviously you are not going to. You are not going to accept them. You don't call them as a friend of yours. You don't keep them under the in the list of the friends, dear friends and fellows. You might help them even, but you are not very happy obviously with those people. And now there is there is another person. This person, dear friends, this person remembers you whether she is happy or unhappy, even during the times of happiness when he don't need your help at all. Rather, being in touch with you will cost them something. Still, they do remember you, even if they are glad, even if they are very happy. They don't need you, but still they do remember and they do call you. They want you to participate in their happiness. They want you to become happy as well. Now this is what they do, not only in the during the times of sadness, or rather during the times of happiness as well. Even when they are normal, neither it is happiness nor it is unhappiness, neither they are sad nor otherwise, but still they remember you. How will you feel like them? Obviously you will feel like them as somebody who is really good. And you as a matter of fact, you obviously being a sensible person, you will like them so much. Rather, you will be willing to help them as and when they do need your help, and you will be inviting them at the time you are happy, at the time you are normal, and even at the time you are sad, unhappy. Dear friends and fellows in Pakistan, although we both of us are the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our situation is different between the relationship which does happen between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the creation. But here the situation is different. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Faskuruni Vaskurukum, you remember me, I will remember you. What does it mean actually? We need to put it right. We need to interpret it correctly. Dear friends and fellows, this actually means that we need to become an obedient slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us just for the sake of worshipping Allah. What does it mean? Should it mean that always we should be on the prayer mat? No, it doesn't mean that. Although we do have to say the obligatory prayers as well as certain other supplementary prayers as well, which is called nawafil by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is not mandatory. But it does not mean at all that we do have to keep praying 24/7. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not demand this thing from us. But what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want the creation like us to do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Faskuruni waskurukum. You remember me, I will remember you. Mean you should remember me. You should remember me when you are happy, when you are not sad at all. Once you are very happy, you should remember me. You should also remember me when you are neither happy nor sad. When you should remember me, and we should also remember me once you are unhappy, once you are troubled, once you are sad. These people actually who do remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regardless of the situation, regardless of our circumstances, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these are the people actually who know that I am the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my creator, and I do have to remain obedient servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, keeping aside the circumstances, keeping aside the situation. Whatever I am getting, all the happiness I do have, it is only because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not because of anyone else at all. And if at all I am normal, I am away from the unhappiness and the trouble, even this too is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even if I am troubled, I am unhappy and sad, this sort of trial has appeared upon me only by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I do request Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I do supplicate while prostration. I will be prostrating like normal, rather more than that, but I shall be in the normal times as well. I am found prostrating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the obligatory prayers and during the supplementary prayers as well. My dear friends and fellows in Pakistan, this actually mean that you remember me, I will remember you. This is how we do become a true slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an obedient creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the power, whether whatever we do during this life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not compel us to worship Allah, to obey Allah, but it goes right into our own best interest. By doing this, we are not doing any favor to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. Rather, we are doing favor to we ourselves. We are trying to become our own best friend, because nobody can be as great a supporter and a helper of us ours as compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If at all the words combine, if at all they are willing to help us, but they will not be able to do that much whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can. So this is the reason even the so-called most powerful people on earth, they too are found trouble off and on, they too are found in difficult situations off and on. Dear friends and fellows, even they people, the most powerful lawful people, not just in Pakistan, rather anywhere else in the world, those people are actually not free from the trouble, from the sadness of life. If at all they too are not free from it, if at all they too are not exempted from it, then how can we, the commoners like me and you, my dear friends and fellows, if at all we do want to lead a good life, if at all we do want to lead the good life and a secure life, and not only the life this one, rather the life hereafter as well, if at all we do want something like this one, all what we need to do is that we need to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to become an obedient slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So instead of becoming a human, trying to become in the good books, trying to put ourselves in the, trying to enter into the good books of any VIP, any VVIP, or anyone else, I think so. The right thing for us is that we need to put ourselves in the good books of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can we do that? By the way, we can do that only by becoming an obedient, by genuinely striving, by genuinely struggling to become a true slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, you will be surprised to listen, and many of you will be already knowing it, that it is difficult to please a human being, to please a creature. Why? Because they don't know our intentions. But pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is easier as compared to pleasing a human being, as compared to pleasing a creature. Why am I saying this, by the way? Because the human being does not know what do lie in our intention, what do we think. They look upon our efforts only, and if at all our efforts are incomplete, they people might not be very happy with us. In just the very opposite of it, as for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is concerned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does look upon our intentions only. Even as for our struggle, even as for our efforts are concerned, our efforts could not be as good as good, but still these are good in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does look upon our intentions only, and does not look upon our actions. Even if there are multiple flaws in our actions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does forgive us. Why? Because Allah is the forgiver, because Allah is the most compassionate, the most merciful. All of us are the creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what sort of comparison is made between a creation and a creature? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creation. I seek apology. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator, and we are all the creation, dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad. So instead of seeking the blessings of any creature, let's try to seek the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if at all